And welcome, Henny Pauli here. I hope you're having a nice day. Why are you laughing? Perfecto's laughing. I don't know why. I can steal catchphrases all day long. He doesn't have a monopoly on nice day. Perfecto de Castro in the back there. So he did his Ample video here. So Pauli has a pedal. It's called Ample and it's orange. And they're sponsoring this video, by the way. And we're gonna find out what's special about it, and what's awesome about it, and what's slightly problematic about it. Before we do that, we have to take it out of the box. I've made too many videos. Before we do that, we'll take it out of the box, which looks like so. You've already seen this. Now you're gonna see some nice details with some nice LEDs and some nice sounds. Yet again, looks like this. Now let's dial in a high-gainy tone. I think it's an ADA preamp from the 80s, rack-mounted thing, very classic thing. And produced one of the musically and video-wise worst noodling tracks I've ever done, but still fun. So before we go into all the amps and sounds, maybe you want to skip this, but I'm going to explain to you how the pedal works. This is the manual. On one side, we've got all the amps in there. On the other side, we got how to operate it. But let's talk about what ample is. First of all, that's what it is. And it's a little bit weird. It's based on the platform of the verbs, which is brilliant, which is IR, impulse responses of chambers and verbs and weird spaces. And you don't really have to tweak a lot. You just do this, and then you have a really inspiring space. Now, does that work for amplifiers? Well, we're going to find out. The verbs is brilliant. It's simple. You don't fiddle around with parameters. Is that what you want for your amps? Well, the ample is a profiler, but you don't profile on it. So it's playing profiles. Are they NAM profiles? NAM? I don't know. Might be, but definitely profiles that Loki from Poly did himself. Okay, they're not readily available anywhere, just loaded into this. So everything in there has been carefully curated and profiled by himself. As far as I understand, it is not just a profile. There's also some component modeling happening. So, for example, the tone stack and stuff is modeled, something like this. It's a combination. Now, who is this for at $400? Because honestly, you can get a Tone X1 for $190. Well, why this? That's a good question. Well, we could talk about quality, the quality of sounds. I mean, with over 20,000 Tone X profiles, there's probably good ones. I mean, I made some myself and they sound great. But interestingly, under my Tone X1 video, many people said, I bought it and I returned it. And I was like, why in the world would you return it? It's such a great product. Well, because to do anything with it, you have to download the software, register the software. To do that, you have to even put in serial number, whatever, then hook it up with USB-C to your computer. Apparently, PC software isn't the smoothest with them. And people just didn't get over the whole has to work with software to do anything thing, and then just gave up. Not one, not two, not three. Several people said, it's not my thing because I couldn't get past the software. And I was annoyed. Others, for example, like the Nano Cortex, which should arrive any second now. Where are you, UPS? You need an app. And then people will say, well, what if the app is any longer supported? There's a good argument to be made for that. Perfecto mentioned a Digitech pedal that can only be operated when you have an old iPhone 3. Which I did find in a drawer. This is what iPhones look like. I had to order one of those charging cables. So it's an old style white charging cable. And yes, that's what an iPhone looked like. It's Leslie's, so it's got some funny pictures on there, which we're not going to show you. Yeah, ignore. But do you want to keep your old iPhone around to operate your Digitech pedal? I don't know. So there's something to be said against mobile access to guitar gear. There's something to be said against computer access, cloud uploading, downloading, because it might go out of use because it's not supported any longer. And you might just not want to fiddle with it, but you still want to get into the world of profiling because great sounds. That is where Ample comes in. And I'll show you how that works. You cannot put in your own profiles. What it has is what you get. If you want to update it, you have to use a little USB-C stick. But the updates will maybe fix an issue here or there, but not really allow you to put in your own profiles. Each profile in the corner shows you what cab was used. And really all it tells you is 215, 212, 112. It doesn't tell you what IR was used. On the combos, very likely, it was the combo. And you can't put in your own IR. There is a way, let me find out where it says that. If you triple tap the destroy icon, you can turn the cab off and then behind Ample, use your own IR or speaker pedal. However, you might want to not do that because you don't want to fiddle with all the shit. You're the customer that doesn't want to do that. What you get is what you get. You can turn it off, but don't. If you like loading IRs and shit, then you're already dealing with software and you're not scared by it. This is for the scaredy cats that just want to fucking play. So, we got clean, crunch, destroy, which isn't really that destructive. It's not a metal-friendly device. Classic US, classic UK, and Gen X. Some weird ones. And you tip on it, and then you've got 8 presets. Oh, there's also bass, by the way. You got 8 presets, and you simply tap on the preset. Very simple. There is a mode by tapping the ample logo 4 times. Might be 3 times when you get it. We don't know yet. Where you can actually have an amp on the left and an amp on the right side. But it's a rather complicated setup that comes with some disadvantages. Later in the video, we'll cover that. Right now, mono mode. So, pick your category, pick your amp. This tells you what it is. Very soon, you will have your favorites and you know where to go. All of them, because Loki from Poly is a surf guy that tests things with single coils, have too little gain. That's just how it comes. It might not come for you because we're all bitching about it, but it doesn't make it bad. All that you have to know is, even on the clean amps, crank the gain 1 or 2 little dots. Hit the boost. All of a sudden, it's alive. So the first impression that me and my friends had was like, it needs a bit. Ooh. So you might just have to do that. And that's exactly how it works. Put your finger down, pull this up and down, crank up the gain. When you crank up the gain, maybe take the volume down because you're cranking up the gain. Bass and treble, very straightforward. You click the preset light 1 more time. And now we're on the secondary layer, which it doesn't say on the pedal, sadly. I wish it said it underneath. This is the luminance, which is simply how bright are the lights. Okay, let's crank this up all the way. This is the boost, which is simply how many dots get added to what we already have on the gain. It's not adding a boost, it's just giving it more gain. So let's say we want to add 2 dots to what we have, then we're right there. Let's say we want to add a whole bunch of dots. 5. Now, if I push A, we're adding 5 dots. Straightforward. This is mids, and this is your room, which can be ambient, where it's set right now, but when you crank it up, it actually turns into real reverb. So for the clean amps, that's kind of nice. Turn that down for the heavy ones. Push the preset again, and we're there. You want to save? Hold it down, get some colors, super simple. You want to go to a different amp? Bam, bam. You want to go to a different category? Crunch. All the crunch stuff is clean until you fiddle with it. And you can see on number 2, I said number 2, that's poop. We already fiddled with it and it has quite a bit more gain. Boost this. And you can see the boost, engage or disengage, gets saved with it. This thing just turns it on and off. I mean, when you have this, you'll just have it on. It doesn't have a mode where you switch between 2 amps. Because also, there's quite a bit of a gap between presets. So you couldn't do a clean and a gainy amp in a live situation. It would be per song, there's 1 amp. It has in the back, MIDI in and out, USB-C, 9 volt, TRS stereo input, stereo output. Right now we're using it mono. You will need a insert cable, but we're going to get into the pros and cons of that later in the stereo section. Fine tune, that's the last thing we need to talk about. It's pretty straightforward. Pick an amp, bass, treble, mids, reverb, boost. It's really not too complex. Now, why this interface? Well, either we're going to work with a little display and going through menus, and that's exactly what you don't want. But with all this wealth of possibilities, you wouldn't be able to do this with knobs. So this makes quite a bit of sense. One downside to this interface is, let's say I'm going to crank up my gain here, and I'm going to swipe it up all the way. I'm on crunch. Pay attention. Now I swiped it too high and touched clean by accident. I switched to clean. Let's swipe up the volume here. Oops, I'm back on crunch. So we have to be careful when you're cranking shit up. if you want to fine tune something, because it's too coarse, those whatever dots, 8 dots are too coarse, you will hold the amp logo. Now it shows you that you're in fine tune mode. Okay? And I think the blue dots are kind of like where the other dots would be. It's kind of like zooming in. And now I can fine tune my setting, click on the number again, and I'm back. The poly lights up in blue when you're in the secondary page, but you can clearly see that on the other colors. I like that he didn't go for green and red, because for people that are colorblind, that's an issue. Is green and blue going to work? Well, better than green and red. We're going to go to 1 or 2 sounds and then play all the amps, including bass, just so you see the operation. Right now, we're on a Dr. Z Stangray, and one of the great things about the amp is that you will get to enjoy some amps that very likely a lot of people have not profiled and are definitely not in a Helix or whatever. Yeah, you might go on the Tone page, Tone whatever, CloudNet something, and find profiles from someone, but not curated to the degree that, maybe Loki did it. So this is a Dr. Z Stangray, the second Brad Paisley amp that Dr. Z did. And this is a Valiant Soothsayer.
Play some country.
Play some country? I don't know. Sounds a bit anemic. Let's see. So I boosted it, and all of a sudden, there's meat. Now, the second amp is the Zinky with a 115. That's Loki's personal amp, and he's very proud of it. Do you need a Zinky? I don't know. But see, where's the life? Let's breathe life into it. That's how easy that is. And we like it, so we save it. Crunch, you're quickly going to see, let's go to the Bruno Underground 30, number 7. Uh-huh. That's what Loki thinks Crunch is. And now, it's really good. Just don't trust your first impression. Save. Okay, if we go to destroy, that's supposed to be that thing. But I mean, we all know that if someone with single chords who likes surf music is trying to do metal stuff, where's he going to take his reference? From nowhere. So if you're a metal guy, this might not be your thing. Saved. You're gonna hear all the amps in a sec. Now, of course, classic USA for someone that is into surf. You know he nailed that shit, right? Let's go straight to the deluxe. So, you gotta be careful with the gain. I'm going to engage the bad 94 distortion. It's Perfecto's thing. The rubber duck doesn't come with it. But if you want the wall of sound from the 90s, buy that thing, because listen. Let's go to the twin. See what that does. I didn't save that, damn it! Now, classic UK, you go to the JTM and you think, plexi time! Well, clean plexi time. But it's good. That's an amazing sound. You're not gonna get a lot of gain in there. I love that. So, last but not least, this category quickly. There's some weird stuff here. The ADA, I mean, that's just, come on. More volume. JCM 800, I don't know. It's not bad. And we have a Soldano. Not as high gain as you would think. Do you get the whole theme here? Not so much gain. So that's all the gain we got there. I was in the back. Okay, so it sounds really good. Do not expect to have super, super high gain stuff, even with the gainy stuff. It has the leads. It's got, honestly, super ridiculous cleans. And Edge of Breakup to Rock is all in there. Can you put your own high gain stuff in there? Have you listened? No, you cannot. Now, to show you everything that's there, Perfecto and I spent half a day recording every single amp, including the bass ones. That's coming. After that, we're going to talk stereo. So there will be some bitching about the whole thing not taking in a mono signal and not doing mono to stereo. But that's wrong. For some reason, did we miss this in the manual? Oh yeah. To run mono into stereo out, triple tap the crunch icon. This toggles mono summing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave all my bitching in there. And I'm showing you what can happen when you don't read the manual. Sorry, Loki. So yeah, it absolutely does what I'm going to tell you that it doesn't.
And now we go into stereo. Wait.
So it's already in stereo. So the manual says push the logo 3 times, but it's lying. But now it might not be lying because maybe the one you're getting is 3 times. The one I have is 4 times. Took me a while to figure that out. I had to call Loki himself. But since Loki is full of mischief, you know, get it? It's a god. Demigod? I don't know. There we go. Now we're in stereo. Now, before we go into stereo, you have to know that there are certain caveats. That's a word. First of all, you need, looking in the back, TRS to stereo cables, so insert cables, to go into the pedal. So 2 pluggies into 1 pluggie. But the pedal doesn't generate stereo. So if you're going in mono, you will only get one side, meaning you have to actually go in stereo to get stereo out. If I go to stereo, I can do different amps left and right. Pretty cool shit. So let's see. Yeah, maybe faster. So there is an orange and a blue and a blue and a blue and a blue. Right? So the orange right now would be number 1 on the clean, which is the the Z Stangray. And 7 is Marshall JTM. And that's fully stereo. So you click this, go to the other side. But as always, it's pretty damn clean. So to really show you, let's get something dirty. So on the orange, we're gonna go to the ADA. That's pretty cool. So you might actually push one amp on one side if you have it wired that way with the fuzz and get that fuzzy tone on the other side, get that more 80s rack tone on the other. That's a wealth of possibilities. Let's go to on 7. No. That's not what I'm doing. What? No. And the Bruno, which was 7. Here we go. We got the Bruno really cranked up now in terms of gain and the ADA on the other side. And that's a pretty damn cool sound. Shit's dope. I don't know what that purple thing is. It says bad, so it probably sounds bad, but I'm gonna kick it in, and I already have the gain. It's gonna be just crazy. Now, is there such a thing as too much gain? Well, you've just heard it. That's what you can do in the stereo mode. Now, furthermore, MIDI, yes, it does. You can control every parameter with MIDI, of course. Secondary controls we talked about. There is a set list, so you can actually, with a USB, put in a set list of what presets you want, and then actually just step through them with your foot switch. However, between the presets, there is a bit of load time. This is just a weird manual. Fine mode, volume and gain share. We talked about that. LED sliders, presets. Okay. We have to be done here. Should you buy Ample? For $569, you get a Nano Cortex. You can put in your own IRs, profile your amps, use an app, go on the cloud, download more, about 200 more. For the same price, you can get a Tonex, 22,000 amp profiles online. Tonex 1, $190, 22,000 amp profiles online. It even has a tuner. There are big benefits to everything that's on the market. I have to say, this doesn't have all these benefits, but the benefit is that it doesn't have them. Because you put it on the floor, you turn it on, you learn a bit about the interface, and you're rewarded with really good sounds in a clean, crunch, lead, not super heavy territory. But they are extremely good ones. So if you want to get into the benefits of profiling quality without wanting to deal with any of the iPhone USB computer app bullshit, and then it doesn't work with the next operating system and all that, that's your profiler pedal that you can't profile on. But that's exactly what you don't want to do. You want to get good sounds, dynamic sounds that make your guitar jump out and you just have fun, then Ample is it. It has the drawbacks that are not drawbacks to you. They're only drawbacks to people that want to fiddle with the sounds and take quite a while to, They're only drawbacks if you want that. And then it's clearly not your pedal. So stop whining about it. Stop whining that I can't load my own ass. I really am impressed by the sounds Loki put in there. It's all usable. Some levels are a bit jumpy. You go to a different amp and all of a sudden you really want to pull down the volume. But honestly, you only do that once. You set it up the way you like it with the gain, you save, and then it's your pedal. Are you going to have 6 times 8 guitar amps that you use all the time? No, you're going to have 4 that you love, but those sound good. So you can get into profiling without getting into apps and shit. which some of us don't want to do. I've read the comments and I think there's absolutely a market for this. Loki is brilliant. He takes criticism well, which we gave him. And 3 days later, it's all erased. All the criticism is erased. That's a company that you stick with. Anything I should add, Perfecto?
Loki's a great guy.
I just said Loki's a great guy. I just said that.
It bears repeating.
Okay, it bears repeating. Bears like, "Arr." Okay. I'll link to shops that carry this. Thank you so much for watching. And we're going to put, what am I going to put at the end again?
Animals at the end.
Animals at the end.